The Directorate of Criminal Investigations has released preliminary findings into the helicopter crash that killed Emuru Dikirr MP Johanna and 5 other people in Chepkiep Forest in Nandi County. Investigators believe poor weather conditions and reduced visibility were major factors in the accident that occurred on Saturday, February 28th. All 6 people on board died when the aircraft went down, and a full investigative report is expected within 30 days. The tragedy unfolded in Chepkiep Forest, a remote and heavily wooded area in Nandi County. On board the helicopter were 6 people. None survived. The loss sent shockwaves across Narok County, where Johanna served as a member of parliament for Emuru Dikirr, and across the country. The Directorate of Criminal Investigations, working alongside other aviation authorities, have begun a detailed probe into the circumstances surrounding the crash. Preliminary findings now point to the bad weather and the poor visibility as significant contributing factors. Investigators say weather conditions at the time of the crash may have made navigation difficult. Chepkiep Forest is known for thick vegetation and unpredictable weather patterns. Reduced visibility in such terrain can pose serious risks to aircraft operations. Officials have indicated that a comprehensive report will be released within the 30 days, and the report is expected to provide more clarity on the final moments of the flight and whether other factors may have played a role. For now, families and the nation are left with grief and with questions that investigators are working to answer. The crash claimed the life of a sitting member of parliament. Johanna was serving his constituency at the time of his death. His passing leaves a leadership gap in Emuru Dikirr, and the community is mourning. Alongside him were 5 other victims. They have been identified as Wycliffe Kiprotich Rono, Nick Kosgei, Amos Rotich, and Robert Keter. Each of them leaves behind family members, colleagues, and communities struggling to come to terms with the sudden loss. And investigations continue. Burial plans have now been confirmed. Narok Governor Patrick Ole Ntutu addressed the matter from Ngeno's rural home. He announced that after consultations, the family of 6 victims agreed on a joint burial date. The consultations included discussions with the President William Ruto and National Assembly Speaker Moses Wetangula. According to Governor Ntutu and other, ensuring there were no cultural or logistical obstacles, the families resolved that all 6 would be laid to rest on Friday, March 6. The decision reflects both unity and shared grief, and before the burial, a special prayer service will be held on Wednesday, March 4th. The service is scheduled to take place at the Baptist Church, and it will provide an opportunity for relatives, friends, leaders, and members of the public to gather in remembrance. Governor Ntutu also outlined the cultural steps that will be observed before the final rites, and in line with the Kalenjin customs, the bodies of Johanna and Wycliffe Kiprotich Rono will be taken to their homes on Thursday, 5 March. Within Kalenjin tradition, a married person with children is required to spend a night at home before the burial. This cultural observance is also seen as an important rite of passage and the final connection between the deceased and their household. The other victims, Nick Kosgei, Amos Rotich, and Robert Keter, will be transported on the burial day itself. The funeral service will take place in Emuru Dikirr Primary School. After the joint service, each of the deceased will be laid to rest at their respective homes. President William Ruto is expected to attend the funeral, and his presence underscores the national significance of the loss. The death of a sitting member of parliament affects not only a constituency but a broader legislative body. It is both personal and institutional loss. In Emuru Dikirr, residents are preparing to say goodbye to a leader they elected to represent them in parliament. The crash has left many reflecting on the predictability of life, and for families, the grief is immediate and deeply personal. For constituents, it's a moment of collective mourning, and the investigators, it is a reminder of responsibility to establish facts clearly and thoroughly. Aviation incidents often require detailed technical analysis, weather patterns, flight paths, and also communication records and aircraft condition are typically examined. While preliminary findings highlight poor weather and low visibility, officials have emphasized that the investigation is ongoing. The 30-day timeline for a full report suggests that authorities are working to ensure a comprehensive review. The Chepkiep forest area presents particular challenges. Dense forest cover and shifting weather conditions can complicate both rescue operations and investigations. In this case, however, the outcome was already tragic by the time emergency response teams arrived. All 6 people on board had lost their lives, and as a nation awaits the final investigative report, attention is turning towards honoring those who died. The joint burial reflects a shared tragedy, and 6 families brought together by a single event, preparing for a collective farewell. Community leaders are coordinating logistics, and security and crowd management plans are expected, especially given the anticipated attendance of senior government officials. In times like these, public ceremonies serve multiple purposes. They offer closure for families, they provide a space for communal grief, and they remind the nation of human cost behind headlines. For Emurua Dikir, the coming days will be heavy. The absence of the Member of Parliament will be felt in homes, in meetings and the halls of Parliament, and for the families of Wycliffe Kiprotich, Nikki Kosgei, Amos Rotich and Robert Keter, the loss is measured in empty seats at dinner tables and in the future has suddenly changed. As investigations continue, the facts will become clearer, but now what remains certain is the scale of the loss, whereby 6 lives ended in a forest in Nandi County, 6 families preparing for burial, and the nation reflecting a tragedy linked, at least preliminary findings, to the force of nature and the limits of visibility. The coming days will be marked by prayer, tradition, and final farewells. In the quiet of Chepkiep Forest, a flight ended too soon, and as families prepare to lay their loved ones to rest, the nation waits for answers while honoring 6 lives lost. That is all from DCI and what they have planned during the burials of those who lost their lives. Kindly, if you are new here, consider subscribing as a way of motivating us and also helping this platform grow as we bring you news from Kenya and beyond.